Todd.
And we are starting our YouTube channel today. And this is our very first video. And for our YouTube channel, we will be discussing things like sustainability, being in an interracial marriage, and we'll be talking about polyamory. That's something that we have been discussing for a long while now, and we'll give a little bit about our journey and what that's been like. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, just welcome. So we'll tell you a little bit how we met. Claire and I have been together over 13 years, long distance together, and now most recently for over almost 6 years together, 7 years now since we moved back in together. And yeah, it's been an adventure. We met actually on a blind date. The only time I'd ever done that, and it was kind of wild. We met online, personal ad. I was in grad school at UCLA.
I was looking for a sugar daddy.
I had just gotten out of a relationship actually, and was in, well, I wasn't looking for love, but I was certainly in a receptive place for it. And so Claire was, yeah, you know, we both seemed like we were seeking something sort of casual and distraction and fun. And her favorite restaurant happened to be in Westwood, like right around from where my apartment was.
Sushi.
Tomodachi. And so I mean, I swung for the fence. I honestly had maybe talked to 2 black women my entire life, and I had no clue what the hell I was doing, but I tried, and I, you know, said something enough to get her attention for a date. But we met up at the arcade in Westwood, which was right next door to Tomodachi Sushi, and it was kind of one of the place where you could see if you're getting catfished and walk away without acting. But glad to say, Claire was even more striking and beautiful than her modeling pictures that she was posting. And so she was, yeah, striking, you know, her presence immediately commanded the room. I was speechless, but if that's hard to believe, but yeah, it was a trip, and she didn't walk away, so that was good. So clearly, at least I sent the right pictures. And so arcade, first game we play, basketball. And speaking with Claire, I already knew that she played basketball. She didn't tell me
College ball too.
she was the whole team in Laguna. So you know, might be friends watching. So yeah, we played basketball, and I put up a valiant effort, and she destroyed me, and I was not letting her win. She fucking beat me bad. So. But I took it in good stride, went next door, had a couple sake bombs to lick my wounds. She was still underage at the time with not a good fake ID, so she was not drinking.
Didn't we go to see Sex and the City? Cause that's
So I must have done well enough. I mean, we talked about everything. It was...
No, he asked me what I really wanted to do, and I was like, to be honest with you, I was trying to go see the movie Sex and the City. He's like, let's do it! And so he took me to the theater over in Westwood, and we saw Sex and the City too. So to me, that was bonus points, because not a lot of guys will go see chick flicks, and yeah, I like to watch what I like to watch.
I don't remember what happened, but I remember our story, so that's what matters.
Yeah.
And then, so we ended the night. I lived right around the corner, so convenient location, but very important. We did not hook up the first night. We ended with a light kiss. I probably was heart pounding, face red, shaking in my boots.
He was semi-drunk, that's the truth.
I was partially
yeah,
less inhibited, but still scared. Claire was dangerous, telling it like it is. She has not changed. I loved it, and I wanted more. And 13 years later, the rest is history. I mean, there's a lot of history in there. There's a lot to talk about, but we're not going to cover that now.
No. But yeah, so we are going to start our vlogging page, and we are going to talk about things like sustainability, being in an interracial relationship, having a family, dealing with family, sustainability. We're really, well, Todd, do you want to tell them what you went to school for so they know why we're into sustainability?
So, well, my background, I grew up around Lake Tahoe, in the mountains, in the desert, in the forest. Total nature boy, mountain man, and she's the beach baby, the SoCal Laguna Beach baby. But I went to college for biology, ecology, evolution, conservation biology. So I'm a scientist. I currently do IT, but that's straight out of survival. And my passion is being a steward of the land that we're a part of, and reconnecting ourselves with just this ancient ancestral knowledge that we turn a blind eye to, and we're out of balance with the way we live. And 2020 has really been about us finding that balance for our family and reconnecting. So after 2020, we actually started the year out in Australia. We spent 3 months there. I was doing an environmental internship doing rainforest restoration on the hinterland of Byron Bay, Gondwanan rainforest, which was an amazing experience as a family, and also a trip to be stuck there as the United States was just squalling in COVID, as we still are today, and just really was a chance for us to reevaluate our life, the people who were in it, our goals, what we're trying to live for. And
yeah, I think one of the things that really helped us figure out what we really wanted, like we knew we always wanted land, lots of land, and we always knew we wanted to have like chickens and like goats and, you know, dogs, cats. We knew we always wanted animals and a big property. And then going to the macadamian farm that we went to, it was a distillery, and he was big on ecology, and he took this piece of rainforest land from nothing. There was nothing there. Everything had been clear cut, and he decided to grow back the rainforest, but he did it in a way that was profitable. He basically took macadamia nut trees and he used those as his way of making money, but also bringing back forest. It was like really cool. We will post pictures about that, because that was a big thing for me that caught my attention as to like what we could do to not only make money on the land that we get, but also to be sustainable at the same time.
So Australia was great in a lot of ways, as Claire was describing, just the permaculture, sustainability kick that so many people they're just better in touch, being connected with nature still. And, you know, the rural life. I grew up in a rural life. I grew up raising animals and small gardens, and not really like true farm work, but, you know, skilled and capable of doing these sorts of things and connected to nature, but not really. I mean, we were living in basic suburbia and living the same trappings of any other consumer life. And Australia just was like, just everyone was making money off of their land, but being a good steward of the land and giving back to building community, and it, you know, barter system, and just all these beautiful things that exist at the community level, and just how far we've gotten away from this and what we accept as the American way of life.
And then another thing that I really loved about Australia is that, like, people that were gay or anything that was different from what the monogamous relationship everyone's used to having, like, you would never know because they refer to each other as partners. And I really liked that. And I liked that, like, it was funny because I was saying my issues, like, oh, my husband's, you know, has this identity that's so different from what I wanted my life to be, you know, and it's like, how do you meet somebody halfway? And they'd be like, you know, like, I have a partner and I also have a, you know, another partner or a friend that, it just didn't seem like it was a big thing to them. Like, they thought, like, monogamy is not really everyone's way, and there's ways to have your main partner but also have other partners that you enjoy and that you have good friendships with. And, like, it's just funny how we are stuck in a society thinking, like, oh my god, that's the best gossip to have, can you believe what this person's doing or has, or, you know, and it's like, to them it's just like, that's very childish, or like, we don't think like that, like, you have a person that you love, plus you have another person that you love, like that's wonderful. Like to us, it was like, oh, like that's normal. Like it just opened your mind to a lot of things that, you know, that you normally wouldn't think about. That's what I love about travel. There were so many things in Australia I saw, ideas I got, and yeah, it just has made us want to live in a different way and reevaluate, like he said, our friends and our people, and even our family, our tribe, and the tribe that we want is what we're going for. And I think we've been a lot happier, haven't we?
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, Australia being away from any sort of baggage of past family of origin or friends of origin, or just, you know, the issue, us coming to terms with our identity, exploring ethical non-monogamy over the last 13 years, or being, you know, anything other than this heteronormative, monogamous, patriarchal, like, expectation of toxic masculine. I mean, all these things that I've processed, and we'll go more into this, of just, I've always been different, and it's beautiful, and people there celebrated that. The Australians were a lot more mature and open and accepting, and, you know, we're not as Americans, we're not, and it needs to change. So it inspired Claire and I to tell our story, just because of the way we felt inspired and alive there, and how it encouraged us to come back here in the midst of Black Lives Matters, to be a part of it, and not to run away from all these problems in America, but to fight to make them better. And it's, you know, it's a worldwide, borderless problem, but that we, you know, we have a voice and we want to share it, and as well as explore all these passions we have along with it.
Yeah.
And I'm a big crier, and I feel passionate about this, and I'm just so grateful to have somebody who is encouraging me to share these stories and share our story together.
And that's our son.
What'd you get?
So just to close this out, we had the wonderful opportunity of staying at this place called Lunda Sun. It was on 300, soon to be like 500 acres. And it was so peaceful, so quiet. Like the craziest thing for me was like, I saw seagulls like eating butterflies, and I was like thinking like, are they supposed to be eating bread? Like that's how like messed up my mind is from living in like a city, you know?
Then we saw koalas.
Yeah, and we saw koalas on our property,
And
like such beautiful birds, bugs, spiders. Like I hate spiders, and the spiders are like the size of my hand, and like that was an adjustment for me. But like it really opened my eyes to nature and like what I want and what we want for our kids to be more outdoorsy, and just to learn a lot about nature and understand how the world really works, and that all this stuff that we've built it can be wonderful, but it's not real. It's just something that is, I don't even know how to say it. Like
a distraction from the only connection that matters, which is human connection and connection with nature.
Yeah, thank you, B. And so that's how we got on our journey to buying 10 acres, soon to be 50 acres. And yeah, and that's the journey we want to share with you. So join us and get to know us, and we hope one day you'll come to our land and it'll be something like Lunda Sun, but better.
Stick around, there's lots more to share.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.